Welcome everybody. In this lesson 1.4, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can use an exponent to show powers of 10. First of all, what you need to understand is that when you see a number written like this, what you need to know is there's two parts to this. There is a base number, which is the big number, and then there is the smaller number, which is what we call the exponent. And how we would read this is we would say it is the third power of 10 or 10 to the third power. And what that means, what you have to do with this problem here is you have to take this big number, the base number 10, and you need to multiply it 3 times. So it should look like that. It could be written third power of 10 is the same thing as taking 10 times 10 and multiplying it by 10 again. The exponent is what tells you how many times you'll be multiplying this base number here. And then if we were trying to solve this problem here, the third power of 10, we would multiply 10 times 10, which equals 100, and then we multiply the last 10, and then the value of this expression would be 1,000. Let's take a look at another example here. What you can see is, once again, we have a base of 10, and the exponent is 2. So what that 2 is telling us is we need to take that big number, that 10, and we need to multiply it now 2 times together. And if we were trying to find the answer to this problem, we know 10 times 10 is going to be 100. And that's how you find that answer. One last example before I show you something a little different. So here what you see is you have the fourth power of 10. Okay, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to take that 10 now and we're going to multiply it 4 times together. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, and if we multiply 10 times 10, it equals 100. If I multiply this 10 times 10, once again, that would be 100. And then I would have to multiply the two 100s together, and what I would get as an answer is I would get 10,000. Now, what we were discussing in class is that we could see a pattern developing here. When we look at our first answer, this exponent here wound up, since we're multiplying it by a 10, this exponent here actually tells us how many zeros we're going to have in our answer. This exponent of 3 shows us here that we have 3 zeros in our answer. This 2 here shows us that we have 2 zeros in our answer, and then once again this 4 here shows us also that we have 4 zeros in our answer. Okay, that was a shortcut that I was showing you in class, but you need to understand what these powers of 10 mean when it's written like an exponent like that. So the fourth power of 10, like in our last example, would really mean 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which would give us that answer of 10,000. Let me show you something a little different now. Alright, so what I did here is I added an extra step to this problem. So now what we have is we have 2 times the third power of 10. In order to do this, what we first want to know is what this exponent is equal to. So as we did before, if we took our third power of 10, we know that is equivalent to 10 times 10 times 10, which would give us an answer of 1,000. Okay, and then at this point all you would have to do is take that, bring that 2 down, okay, and then find the value of this expression would then equal 2,000. So 2 times the third power of 10 is really equivalent to 2,000. Here's another expression for us to evaluate. We have 6 times the second power of 10. Okay, so what, again, like we did last time, what we're going to do is we're going to find the value of the exponent. The second power of 10 is really equal to 10 times 10, which is equal to 100. And then at this point what we do is we take that 100, we multiply it by the 6, and then we see the value of this expression is 600. And finally here what we have is we have 3 times the fourth power of 10. Once again, knowing my shortcut, I could see that since it's a power of 10, it's the fourth power of 10, I could see here that my answer is going to have those 4 zeros in it, which is equivalent to 10,000. And then at this point, I know that 1 times 3 equals 3. And in order to figure out what 10,000 times 3 is, well, I would just add those 4 zeros to my answer, knowing my patterns of multiplication, and then that would give me a value of 30,000. And that is how we used the powers of 10 exponents to solve the powers of 10.